What is going on, team? Welcome to I don't know if I've got the microphone on. Yes, I have. Welcome back to another video. A couple of things before we get into the actual bulk of it. Here in England, there was an article about how this woman fed her children for £1.42 each a day. I don't know why I started reading it. But what really stood out was that toast and butter on a Monday cost 19p, but on Wednesday it cost 20p. Blew my mind. Inflation, eh? And number two, yesterday, it was the man, the myth, the untannable legend's birthday. Patrick Vellner turned 30. Doesn't look a day over 31. Can't say that. Happy birthday, Pat. He spent the day on the lake with a houseboat and a jet ski. Not a bad way to spend birthday eve with this face. Which is... Anyway, the bulk of today is that a milestone within the CrossFit community has been broken. The elusive sub 5-minute mile, along with a 500-pound back squat in the same day. For the UK people out there, that's 227 kilos. A task that was set by Dave Castro in 2017, where in the lead up to the 2017 CrossFit Games, Dave Castro had discussed with Scott Panchik about a possible test of fitness for CrossFit athletes, chronicled in his book, Constructing the CrossFit Games. Castro discussed how difficult it would be for an athlete to run a mile under 5 minutes and back squat 500 pounds in one day. It was a feat that became part of CrossFit lore, and he felt was elusive for CrossFit Games athletes, even Rich Froning.
I don't know, what's the f*** he got to do with you?
Just name dropping there. Speaking of Rich Froning, the video that he did about him launching his new Froning 2 was actually pretty dope. Came out of a cake. Man, I love the cake. But yeah, this past week, that's been broken by a guy called Adam Klink, who is the head coach at CrossFit Krypton. You probably know that box because of the Smith brothers, but now it's known because of Adam Klink too.
Come on. Go, Adam, all the way. Go, 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 go. All the way, come on, baby, go. Let's go. 56. Yeah. Let's go. Yes. Let's go. Woo. Woo. Yeah, baby. Holy cow.
Come on, one rep, down up.
Only because Dave Castro in his book said he wanted somebody to go sub 5 minutes on the mile, 500-pound squat, and he threw 50 pull-ups in there. So my keyboard warriors, just warning you, they're gonna be kipping. Is that 50? Yeah. There you go.
How'd you like me now?
Now it's caused quite a stir within the CrossFit community. Dave Castro put it on his story, and then a flood of responses came in. Someone said, if Vellner does it, would you appreciate him back? To which Dave Castro put, but he can't do it. One person said, hybrid athletes have been doing this for a while. Dave Castro said, who?
Come on, who are you then?
Ronnie Pickering!
Who?
Ronnie Pickering!
Who?
Ronnie Pickering!
Who the fuck's that?
Yeah, me!
Shane Orr said, Matt can do this. To which Dave Castro then went, maybe. Question is, has he added 15 pounds to his back squat since 2018? And I know he can run, but running sub 5 isn't easy. He then brought up the table of the 2018 CrossFit Games, where Matt Fraser squatted 485 pounds and said, close, but no 500. And then he went even deeper and went back on Pat. I love the rivalry between those two. And said, maybe he's added 45 pounds in 2 years. Along with this, Dave Castro on his Twitter put, Tia Claire Toomey has asked me what I thought the female equivalent would be. I don't know. I think the ladies should get together and determine what's appropriate. To which we saw the response being something around the 325 to 350 pound back squat. 350 pounds, just short of 160 kilos, and a mile time of around 5:20, 5:30. Apparently, the female world record is 12% slower than the male world record, so they're basing it off that. And then also in the comments of the post, we saw a lot of support from various different games athletes. And then we saw the banter of Royce saying that Shane can do this with a 500-pound bench. And then Shane replying that he can't do this. But we all know he can, he's benched 160 once. But anyway, we actually caught up with Adam Klink for a small kind of interview and talk around the idea and how he trained for this. And this is what he had to say. You're the man of the hour, you know?
I get it's really weird to me. Like, I feel like people are making a bigger deal about this than I was making to begin with. So
how did you train for it? You know, like, this is a big thing because obviously a lot of CrossFitters, to be fair, I can't squat 500, neither can I run a sub 5 minute mile. So Is it CrossFit or did you like?
Yeah. So one thing is I didn't stop my CrossFit training, so I still did my normal CrossFit sessions. I did my partner workouts with Ben, and I trained with the guys in our gym. But what I did, just one part a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I ran. Tuesday, Thursday, I back squatted. So it was really focused training. So like I didn't do a ton of volume, which might be kind of hard to believe, but like I already had a base, right? And I want people to know that I came into this pretty fit, and I wasn't like starting from ground zero. So I ran Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I switched it up between, I did one 20-minute tempo run a week, and then I did one like road interval week, like 30 seconds, a minute or 2 minutes on, and then you take a rest type of thing for, some rounds. And then I did one track workout a week.
Nice. See, like it's very training, but nothing really too long. You train specifically.
No, it was, yeah, exactly. Like it was very focused. It was a lot of energy, and it was hard running, and it wasn't any more than like, around 2 miles of hard running for any session.
You had a big back squat before, right?
I did. And yeah, Ben and I have always like raced to different back squat numbers. And I've hit 550, but I trained specifically to hit 550. So I did have to build my back squat back up to 500 pounds.
Was it lockdown? Like you just went into lockdown, you're like, right, I need something to focus on.
Not really even. So it's funny, Dane and I, the little Smith brother, the little guy, we started programming under Ben Smith Blueprint, under his programming, and it's called Dad Bod Fitness. We're all new dads, and we started doing programming, and it's like quick workouts. We have like fit workouts, bodybuilding workouts, but a track we started was lift heavy, run fast. And so we've been putting the programming out that we're doing. And so purposefully, it was kind of just 20-minute sessions of squatting and running. And kind of with that, Dane and I said to each other, wouldn't it be cool if we could hit the 500 and the 5-minute mile while we were doing this with these guys? So we kind of made that the goal for the program. And I guess one of us had to hit it right. I think Dane's actually going to give it a go this weekend or next weekend.
And then do you reckon you're going to see a train of people giving it a go?
I honestly think so. I feel like in the next 2 or 3 months, you might see 2 or 3 people hit it. So once it's out there, and you just get more people who are training specifically for that, I think somebody will get there.
What do you think's possible? Now you've done 5-minute mile, 500 pounds. Could it be 5-minute mile, 550 pounds?
Well, yeah. So it's funny. I hit 500, and Ben was like, "Dude, you had some more in you." So I think I could have hit a little bit more on the back squat, not much more. I don't know. I maybe right now 445 and a 525. I mean, in the upper limit. I mean, nobody's shown that they could do that. So I don't know.
Yeah. You should set the next goal, You should be like, look, I've done this now. Now I want a 450 mile and a 510 back squat.
I don't know. Somebody made a comment on an Instagram post, and they were like, let's have Adam retest this with such and such. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like this was it for at least a while.
Yeah. I can imagine. Did you put pressure on yourself, or was it just like, I'm going to do it and see what happens?
It started off as I'm going to do it and see what happens. And then as I started to get closer, there was definitely pressure. Like I was the most nervous I've ever been before any regionals competition than I was before I ran that mile. I felt like I was going to throw up before I ran.
Because you did the mile first, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so you were like, was that the thing that you were worried about the most, or the back squat?
Oh, for sure the mile. Like I'm heavy. I'm 215 pounds. So the back squat I was hitting pretty consistently. And I mean, you're going to do first, I assume, what you're weakest in if you're confident in the other one. Just because if I've squatted first, that would definitely take energy away from that mile.
Yeah. You had 4 seconds in you. Hey.
I was cutting it close, but I got it in there.
So what's the next thing? What are you doing now, and then what's the next thing? Or is that it? You're like, I've made a name for myself?
That's everybody's question right now, and I'm going to take a week before I decide what that is. I'd like to still compete in CrossFit at a high level if the season resumes and is around, next season, depending on what that looks like. So that'll probably be one of my goals. But if that's postponed like it's looking like right now, who knows? Maybe it'll be a longer run or a heavier squat, or maybe I'll try to chip away at a.
And yet, like now you've just given Dave Castro a face palm, so now you just can sit back, relax, and say, I did that.
I don't know about that. So I actually tried this 2 years ago, and I've talked to him the past 2 years about it. And he's wanted me to do it. And when I first said I wanted to do it 2 years ago, he like put an Instagram story and like blew me up. I didn't hit it 2 years ago, so it was cool to finally do it. And he did send me a message and he said, "Proud of you."
Nice. But isn't it crazy? It's like a thing that a lot of people have always said, like CrossFitters, one day they'll hit a 500 back squat and a 5-minute mile. And like someone may have done it before, but like you're the first person to get it on video. You're the first person to put it out there and be like, here's all the proof. I did it.
Yeah, I was almost waiting for somebody to step out and say, like, I've already done this, but I haven't heard it. And I think that when I did it, I didn't think as much of I think other people are making out of it. So it's been cool to see people's reaction, and it's been awesome to be congratulated, by people in the community. It's been fun.
You know what, team? Like, he's a very modest dude. He's a cool guy to hang out with. We talked to him before and after that interview, and he's a down-to-earth, hard-working dad that just went, I'm going to do this. And kind of trained specifically for it, but also just did CrossFit. No one can deny that this is a feat of human kind of performance, and it's pushing levels. Yes, a 5-minute mile compared to the world record mile isn't crazy. Yeah, a 500-pound back squat compared to the world record back squatters isn't crazy. But when you think about what it takes to do both of those in the same day, the different types of muscle fibers, the athletic ability to be able to be strong but also be relatively enduring and fast, I'd like to see another discipline match it. Can an NFL player do it? Strong men can easily squat 500 pounds, but they definitely can't run a sub 5-minute mile. There's probably a lot of runners out there that can run a sub 5-minute mile, but can't back squat 227 kilos. Personally, I think it should become a staple in a lot of fitness and a lot of goals for a lot of people. And personally, I think a CrossFitter, and specifically Adam, achieving this first is kind of like a testament to CrossFit and the training methodology that we do to say, yeah, we are good all-round athletes who have terrible form and injure ourselves.
0.
But anyway, team, put your opinion down below. What should the next target be to hit? Do you think that should be a staple in fitness to really try and get athletes to hit these things? Who else do you think could do it? Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and we will catch you next time.